If you've clicked on this video, your Oracle might be stuck at 68 degrees Celsius, about 154 Fahrenheit. That's a common issue around 68 to 70, and in this case, you can also hear the pump running non-stop since startup, which is not normal. Before we start, remember you are responsible for any work you do on your machine. Always unplug it from the mains and make sure it's completely cold before opening or repairing. Start by disconnecting the wires from the probes, then remove the probes and check that they are not filled with limescale. I'm using pliers here for both the wire and the clip. Be careful, the clip often drops down into the bottom of the machine. The probe I just removed looked almost like new, so I found an old one with limescale to show as an example. Now I'm heading to the sink to grab a steel sponge, because apparently I use kitchen tools to fix espresso machines. Add a little water to the sponge and scrub the probe well until all the limescale is gone. It's a simple process and it should be done on all 3 probes to keep the machine running properly. Earlier, I looked into the boiler with a flashlight to check the water level and only the heating element was covered. That tells me the boiler isn't filling up, and I suspect the hose is clogged with limescale. Since the pump has been running constantly since startup, the next step is to check the hose. First, remove the clip attached to the pump. I use a needle tool to release the clip. If you look closely, you can see that the hose was under pressure, which also indicates that the pump can't push the water through. Here I'm using a grabber, like the ones you get with a multimeter, to hold the second clip since it's facing downward. If I just pull it out, it will drop into the bottom of the machine. This step can be a bit tricky, but with some patience, you'll get it done. There can be a few different reasons why the machine won't heat up. I'll list them later in the video. I cut out the boring part, since it also gave me a bit of trouble. Now the clip is out and the hose can be removed. If there's a lot of limescale, the hose can be a bit tricky to remove, but normally it's no problem at all. I thought so. The hose is completely clogged. Back to the sink again to grab your descaling solution. I'm using Descaling from Ernex. Mix a small teaspoon with water and place the end of the hose in the solution. Let it sit until the limescale has dissolved. If needed, use a pointed tool to make an opening. Before reinstalling the hose, it's important to replace the small red O-ring. You can use some food-grade grease to make it easier to reinstall the hose. Without it, the hose can be a bit tricky since it needs to be pushed far enough in for the clip to lock into place. This step really puts your patience to the test, but I finally got it done. Now the hose needs to be reattached to the pump. Again, it's important to replace the O-ring to avoid leaks. The last step before testing the machine is reinstalling the probes. If you reuse the old probes, make sure to fit new O-rings, but I recommend replacing them with brand new ones. Now for the fun part, let's test if it works. Now the boiler's full, so that part is working. There can be several reasons why the machine still won't reach its temperature. I'll go through them later in the video. Now we are above 68 to 70 degrees. We've managed to fix it. If the machine still won't heat higher than 68 to 70 degrees Celsius, or about 154 to 158 Fahrenheit, the thermal fuse may have failed due to the boiler overheating when there was no water inside. I'll soon upload a video showing how to replace it. The last thing to check is the triac circuit board located under the lid inside a plastic cover. It can short out due to leaking probes in the boiler, a hose, or even the temperature sensor. You'll also soon find a video about this here on the channel. But since we started by checking the probes, this is the simplest thing to look at before all the other steps, because a faulty probe can tell the heating element not to switch on. I could hear on this machine that the probes were leaking. Of course, I'll replace them with new ones, but first I wanted to test the repair. I hope this video was helpful. See you next time.